You have this graph of this blue line. It's linear, isn't it? It's a line. Let's say a line, we're talking linear. And which of the following equations are represented by the graph? So we have four choices here, and we need to pick two of them. Because when you look at your answers down here, is it the first two? Or is it the first and the fourth? Or is it 2 and 3 or 1 and 4? Okay? All right, so we're going to pick one of these. So we have to find two of these equations that work and the other two don't work. Okay? Now right off, looking at number 3, just for a second, what's x times x? X times x is x squared, isn't it? So this is going to say y equals x squared. It's going to have a lot of other things in it when you FOIL those, but you're going to get x squared, which is not a line, is it? When you have square, x squared, that's a parabola. So automatically we can eliminate number 3. And there's only one choice for 3 over here anyway. I'm not going to pick C. All right? Now, so I have a choice of 1, 2, and 4. So let's see. If we pick a point on the line, start at your origin and go down to this point, we call that the y-intercept. Okay? That's the point 0 minus 2, isn't it? Now, if we go from this point to another point on the line, say this point, to go from here to here, what do I have to do? I have to go up 1 and then over what? 2? So you can see I'm rising 1 and running 2, okay? And I'm going upward to the left, aren't I? As you do this, as you draw your line, you start at these points and you're going upward and to the left, aren't you? Okay? Okay, when you point upward with your left hand, that's a negative slope. But I mentioned slope because what I did is I went up 1 and over 2, pointing upward with the left, we have a slope of negative 1/2. And you can see it does it again. I go up 1 and over 2. And you see your lines going upward to the left with the same thing here. Okay? So the slope of this is a negative 1/2. Okay? Now, this is called the slope-intercept form of the equation, where m is this rising 1 and running 2 going upward to the left. So we plug 1/2 in this equation, negative 1/2 in for the m. So it looks like this. Okay, so far. All right, now go back to my original point down here. That point where when x is 0, y is what? 0, negative 2, isn't it? Okay. So we'll take my equation right here, and in place of the x value here, I'll plug in the what? What's the value of x in this point? I'll plug 0 in for the x, and y will be negative 2 here. When x is 0, y is minus 2. Okay? Now, what's 1/2 of 0? So even negative 1/2 of 0 is still 0, isn't it? And what's 0 plus b? 0 plus b is b. So that tells me b in this equation right here, b is this number. So I'll write negative 1/2 x plus a negative 2. Or you don't have to say plus a negative 2. We can just say minus 2. So here's my slope, and there's my intercept. Okay? And that was our first choice. Okay? That was, of the four equations, that was answer A. I'm sorry, that was the first one. That was Roman numeral 1. Okay? Now, if you want to put this in standard form, you'll have all the letters on the left side. You'll have your x's and y's on the left side of the equation, and you'll have your numbers on the right side. Okay? So the first thing I want to do, look, see that's 1/2 there. That's messed up, isn't it? I don't want to have negative 1/2. I want to have a whole number here. I don't like having this fraction. Now, how do I get rid of the fraction? okay, this fraction right here, we need to eliminate the 1/2. We'll worry about the negative sign in a minute. Right now we're going to eliminate this fraction because I don't like fractions. Just get rid of them, right? Now how do we get rid of the fraction? We multiply by the what? By the 2, okay, which is the denominator. So to get rid of the denominator, we multiply everything by 2. So I'm going to put a 2 here, a 2 here, and a 2 here. So you'll end up with 2y, 2 times negative 1/2, and 2 times 2. I spaced this out so I can put in yellow. I'm going to put a 2 here, here, and here. What did I say? I'll have 2y, huh? And what's 1/2 of 2? Half of 2 is 1, isn't it? So I'm going to have a negative 1x, and 2 times 2 is what? Now, so we multiplied by 2 to eliminate the fraction 1/2. So I no longer have a fraction. Everything else is double what it used to be, but I don't have a 1/2 there anymore, okay? Now, what did I say standard form was? Is getting all the letters, this x in other words, on the left side, and the y is already on the left side. So to get rid of this negative 1x, I will do what? First of all, we got rid of the fraction. Now we're going to get rid of this negative 1 by adding 1x to both sides of the equation. That will get rid of the negative 1x on this side, and you'll have the 1x on this left side. Let me show you. Let's draw a line and put plus 1x, both sides. Bring down the 1x. 1 times x is x. That's a 1x right there. Bring down the 2y. Bring down the equals, and bring down the negative 4. Okay, this is standard form of the equation where you have your letters on the left side of the equal sign and your numbers on the right side, your constants. Okay? So, that's my first two choices. We've already said I don't want to have number 3 because x times x is x squared. And if y equals x squared, you have what we call a parabola, which is a curve. It's going to be a curve. It's not going to be a line. So throw away 3. If you had y equals, what number's in front of the x? 2/3, isn't it? So what's the slope of this equation? 2/3, isn't it? But my equation my line has a slope of negative 1/2. So that's what's wrong with this one. That 2/3 right there. I mean, there's other things wrong with it, but that 2/3 x, that's going to tell me I'm going to have a slope of 2/3. And so I don't want to use that one. So we're going to pick answer A.